welcome to this edition of Berkshire Matters. I'm Bob Dean, and I'm your host for today's show. And today we're going to be talking with our good friends at the Berkshire Community Action Council about two of the very important, helpful programs they have. The first is the ELF Holiday Warm Clothing Program, and you can see that they are right now in the it's like a Filings or J.C. Penney or Saks Fifth Avenue store. And then the second program I want to talk about is the Heating Fuel Assistance Program. Our guests today are Stephanie Bosley. She is the Director of Community Partnerships at Berkshire Community Action Council, and Alita Monchecki, who is Deputy Director at Berkshire Community Action Council. Welcome to both of you.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's always my pleasure. So, Alita, I want to just ask you before, I know everyone wants to know about all this cool clothing that you guys are standing with, and that gentleman to your side there. But before that, let's talk briefly about the Heating Fuel Assistance Program. When can people start to apply, and what are the eligibility criteria this year?
So people can start calling today. We have already started our intake process. Because of COVID, our doors are locked, but the staff is here. Call the 445-4503 for Pittsfield or South County, and North County is 663-3014, and we'll start the process right on the phone when you call.
Okay, if somebody received fuel assistance last year, will they get their application in the mail, or how does that work?
If they were on fuel assistance last year, they just need to wait till they get the application in the mail. They'll get it in the mail. They'll have to prove their income or any changes, and then just mail that back in.
Okay. So what type of heating fuel is covered by the program?
Whatever's your main source of heat. So if you heat with Berkshire gas, if you heat with wood, propane, whatever your source of heat, that's what we're going to help pay for. We start paying November 1st till April 30th, or up until you've used your benefits. So most of our clients use their benefits before April 30th.
Okay. And what type of individuals in terms of housing situations can apply? Can you be a homeowner? Do you have to rent? What if heat's included?
Anyone should call to apply. So if you're a homeowner, that's probably the best. If your furnace was to break and you're on fuel assistance, if we have money available, we'll help fix that furnace, send somebody over there to fix it. So those are the people that we really try, our senior population, to get them in. Anyone can apply. So if your heat's included and you are not on Section 8, you definitely are eligible. Even if you're on Section 8, if you pay more than a certain amount, you may be eligible.
Okay.
Section 8 would be housing.
Okay. So here's the thing you and I always say is if you know, we don't want anyone ruling themselves out. We want people to call you the experts, and then you will review their unique situation and determine if they're eligible.
Correct. In addition to being eligible, and we're going to get you on the discounted rate. So National Grid, Eversource, that's quite a savings. So in addition to paying for your heat, we're going to get you on that discounted rate. And we're also, if you're interested, we have a form that you can fill out, and one of our weatherization people can come in and do an energy audit, which is free. And they're going to help you save money. They're going to change your light bulbs to the energy efficient light bulbs. They're going to check your refrigerator. They'll check your air conditioner and make sure that these items are not, they're energy efficient. Bob, you're smiling because you and I did quite a few of those at one point, right?
Well, I mean, it's good stuff free, you know. I got one more question about fuel assistance, and then we want to hear about the ELF program. So a household of two, what is the income threshold for a household of two this year?
So a household of two can make up to $51,137. So a family of one, $39,105. Even if you're over those guidelines, there's other programs. There's the Good Neighbor Fund. My recommendation is, if you think you're close, please call. Let us do the math. Let us figure it out for you.
Yeah. Call. Right. Very good. Thank you, Alita. All right. Now, I know that both of you are working on this program, the ELF Warm Clothing Program. Alita, you and President Johnson are doing up in North County, and Stephanie, you're doing Central and South. Stephanie, tell us about the ELF program. Who could be eligible for this program, and what is it?
Sure. So I just want to say, because following COVID protocols is very important. So Alita and I are standing 6 feet away. But if we weren't, we would be wearing a mask. So I just want to throw that out there because it's important. ELF Warm Clothing Program is a program for children 0 to 12, and they receive a complimentary coat, boots, as you can see, pajamas, pants, shirt. It's really just to make sure that our children in the Berkshires are warm and that they can go to school, go to play outside, and be warm and comfy in the wintertime. So a lot of times if someone calls and asks about our warm clothing program, we ask them first if they're on fuel assistance, because we can check to make sure that they're on fuel assistance. So then we know that you're income qualified. Most of our participants in the program are on fuel assistance. But then we usually check too to see if your child's enrolled in Head Start, if your family receives SNAP, if you are on Mass Health, because all of those things will tell us that you're income qualified as well.
Okay. So one thing before I forget is I want to make sure, and we're going to say this more than once, what is the deadline for people to apply?
October 29th. So
October
it's coming
29th,
up quick.
Yes, it's coming up very quick. So we want to make sure that people know they need to apply by October 29th. Now, all of the clothing, I see boots and coats, all of that is brand new, unworn clothing. Is that correct?
Yes, it is all brand new. Yep. We pulled the plastic off of most of it, so it's from factory to BCAC. And it's beautiful. There's all different styles. So, and all of it is kind of like in style. You know, your child is going to be stylish in this clothing.
And no other kid has worn it. As you said, it's coming right from the store. So that these kids are going to get brand new coats, brand new boots, and whatever else that we're able to provide to them, or you're able to provide to them. Alita, how does someone apply up in North County?
They're going to call the 663-3014, or there's applications outside the door. Bob, in addition to this, we need a lot more. So we're looking for the community to sponsor a child, a family, donate. They can make a donation. We can do the shopping. That's what happened here. We were very lucky. Somebody donated some money. We were able to buy some of the stuff to get a jump start. So we're looking for the community to help us with this program. We normally do over 2,000 children. We think those numbers are going to be higher this year, and we really need the community to help us, please. And they can call the same numbers, the 445-4503.
So then let's make sure that we say that even though the deadline for a family to apply to receive the ELF clothing is October 29th, you are still going to continue to need donations. You're going to continue to need people to sponsor a child. So you definitely want them to keep calling, because you want to say yes to every child that's in need. And again, it takes a community to do that. So Stephanie, how can someone apply in Central and South County?
Sure. So similar to North County, they can call Melissa at 413-418-3668, and we'll make sure that you have these numbers, Bob. But they also can stop by our office at any time. We have applications outside of our front door. They can fill out an application, put it in an envelope, and put it through our secure mail slot, and our staff will check it when our office is open. And we also have some information about the Warm Clothing Program at bcacinc.org. So if they want to just look up kind of what we're talking about today, that information is also there. But like you were saying, Bob, just going back to the sponsorship, we want the applications in by the end of October, because it's already getting cold, and we want to make sure that families have this warm clothing as soon as possible. But we'll be distributing this clothing for weeks after that. So sponsors do have time to get clothing to us. If people are interested in sponsoring, we just ask that they contact us as soon as they can, just so that we can make sure that we match them with a child and they have their sizes so that they can shop for them.
Okay, so when somebody who's interested in sponsoring contacts you, you would basically ask them how many children they want to sponsor, one or more, and then you would provide them with that child's sizes, and then they would go and buy the new clothing?
Yeah, exactly. We we take away the child's name, just so that it's anonymous, but we give them their age, their gender, and their sizes so that the sponsor knows everything that they need to make sure that they buy the correct clothing for that child.
And when my kids were younger, they would go with me and we'd shop. We'd always ask for a boy, my son's age, and a girl, my daughter's age, and the kids would go with me. And so it was a wonderful way, with the holidays approaching, to kind of have your kids understand, that a lot of it's about giving to others, and not only just receiving. But I always felt we received just as much as we gave by going out and being able to participate in that program. It's just a great program. What if a family has 4 children, 5 children? Is there a limit on how many children a family could be eligible, or how does that all work?
No, we take the family, how many children they have, we take the whole family. We don't ask questions on, we have families that have 9 children. There's just many different types of families that we have.
As long as they're 12 and under,
12 and under.
We'll take them.
Okay. And it can be kids who might be living with their grandparents or whatever. That's maybe even more than ever you want to help those kids, kind of thing. But we really, it's a great program. How many kids are you expecting to serve this year, did you say, Alita?
Over 2,000. Bob, I also want to mention too, they don't have to be on fuel assistance, because we do have some families that live in housing that are not eligible for fuel. They are eligible for this program. So we have many other programs that you don't have to be on fuel assistance. We're just looking to make sure that you are low income, that you meet our guidelines, but you do not have to be eligible for fuel for this.
So the fuel assistance guidelines are the guidelines that you could use for someone to determine if they're eligible, even if they're not on fuel assistance.
Correct.
Yep.
So a household of 3, say a single parent with 2 kids, what could their income be, Alita, based on?
I have to look at that, Bob. It changes every year. So a family of 3 is $63,169, up to that.
Up to that.
A family of 4, $75,201. Our guidelines are pretty high, but that's taken, not showing, their mortgages, how much they're paying for daycare. So, that's really not what they're living on, but that's what we look at.
So Stephanie, what if somebody wants to donate some new clothes, unused clothing, and like if they just wanted to donate a couple coats, could you pretty much use any coats that would fit a kid 12 and under kind of thing, or would you want them so kind of like anything, as long as it's new and unused and it's for coats or boots for kids 12 and under, that could fit that criteria?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as they're brand new, we'll take them. And we find that we oftentimes are needing the larger sizes. So some children are in adult sizes. So even if you see an adult coat that would be appropriate for a young child and you want to pick it up while you're doing your shopping, we'll take it. We just ask that you call either the North Adams office or the Pittsfield office, because due to COVID, we have our doors closed to the general public. So we'll just schedule a time that we can kind of do like a contactless drop off to our office. But we'll definitely take any, even if it's a pair of mittens that you see or a scarf that you see, a hat. It doesn't have to be a large item. We collect all different winter items. And one thing too is we have a lot of sponsors that after the season's already done and everything is marked down, they'll buy for us and give us a call and say, I know that it's February, but can you take this clothing now to save for next year? And we'll definitely do that too. So if after the season you see a pair of marked down boots or a coat and you think of BCAC, we'll take it and store it for next season. But we definitely do need clothing for this season. So if you're able to, and would like to sponsor a child or drop off clothing to us, we'll take it.
So even say an individual who wants to help out, but they feel based on their own situation, they probably can't afford to buy a coat or boots, even if they bought a few items that are new, it could be mittens, hats, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
I had today a delivery from Land's End, I think it was. Somebody just sent 2 coats. I mean, what a great surprise. They were 2 brand new coats right from the company. So anyone that wants to donate anything, we'll take it as long as it's brand new.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you brought that up, Alita, because there are some people, you know, given COVID, some aren't comfortable walking into a store, but you might be online shopping, you might have a coupon or something that you want to use, and you can send that clothing directly to our office. And we love surprises.
That was a great surprise. I was, wow, we're like trying to look to see who sent it. But
I mean, yes, if you can tell us your name so that we can thank you, we'll take that too.
That's a great way for somebody, to, you know, if you get, you know, 2 for the price of 1, donate one of the new coats and have it can be sent directly there. Wow, that is creative. Why do you have President Johnson next to you, Alita? I know people are wondering, so let's just get that out of the way.
This would be Deb Leonzik. This is her, we'll let you jump in on this. Why does Deb have this in this room? I wanted to mention too that we were really lucky. We've never had anything set up like this before. This is in the Pittsfield office. Our executive director went to a store that was closing and was able to buy all of this equipment extremely cheap. So we're ahead of the game this year. Mm-hmm. Deb, they'd like you to come in and talk about
Oh no, you can handle it.
I believe wasn't that what
President Johnson, one of the things that he's known for is the war on poverty. Yeah. And out of that, he created community action councils. So there's over 1,000 of us across the country. We all look a little bit different. Some are larger, some are smaller, some have a variety of different programs that, you know, are custom to their area. But we have him hanging out just so that we can remember where we came from
and why we're here.
Yeah, and you know, and as you talk, Stephanie, about how different many of the community actions are, I bet very few have such a wonderful elf warm clothing program the way this BCAC does, because it really is. It's a great program. How are people going to get the clothing? How's that going to work?
Well, we're each going to be a little different. She has a nice location. Let's talk about your location because you have some.
Sure. Yeah. So for Pittsfield, we have a little dock outside of our office with a garage door. So we're going to contact the families, give them a pickup time, and then we're going to kind of do it contactless. Once they're here, we'll open the garage door, run it out, have them, you know, sign that they got the items, and they pretty much won't have to leave their car. We're fortunate that we can do kind of this contactless pickup.
Little different for me. I'm on the 2nd floor. So again, we'll call the parents. We'll have them come outside. We're going to try to be outside, give them their stuff outside. There'll be no sign-in this year. We'll sign them off. We'll check the list. As little contact as possible, but we're still working this out. This is all brand new. I think for everybody is brand new.
Yeah. So tell us, Alita, when you say 2nd floor, tell us where you are. What's that mean, 2nd floor?
In North Adams, we're located at 85 Main Street, and you have to take an elevator to get upstairs or walk upstairs. We're located on the 2nd floor, which could be an asset for us because we could meet them out back and have their gifts out there. There's some doors there. So we're still trying to work that out.
Yes. Well, that's one of the things that BCAC's always really been good at is working things out. You guys are the kings and queens of the workaround. You'll find a way to do what you need to do and to get where you need to go, which is always
for a small group, Bob. I'm amazed at how much we do. Yeah. There's not, for the amount of people that work here and the programs that we run, it's amazing.
Small but mighty.
There you go. So when people come to fill out the application for the ELF program, and Steph, you had touched on this, they can also, if they haven't already, fill out an application for the fuel assistance. They can do two things at once that could really, really help them.
No, Bob, they would have to call, that would be a little different. I'll jump in on this one. So
Okay.
fuel,
Yep.
I mean, if they called on the phone, perhaps, but if they came in outside, there's no applications. It's all done on the computer. So if you're brand new, you actually have to call the fuel assistance
Okay.
department, and they're gonna go through that process. So in
Okay.
Pittsfield, there's two different spots. In North Adams, yes, if you called, you'll be able to probably do both.
Okay, so the application process, they would call for Pittsfield and they would give the information over the phone to the Pittsfield people, and then they would be qualified within a certain amount of time, so they would know whether or not they were eligible, right?
For fuel assistance?
Yeah, I want to talk about fuel assistance again briefly.
Sure.
Before we,
So we would start the process on the phone. We would mail the application home. They'd have to mail the information back to us. We also have copy machines outside of each office so that it's
Oh.
not an inconvenience for our clients. They can make copies for free, put it through the door, and then when it comes back, somebody will look at it and then enter all the information into the computer. I have to say, Bob, we are more efficient this year. The amount of people that we're getting done and new people that we're getting in through the door, it's really working. We're doing a great job. So as tough as COVID is, we're kind of looking at how well this is going.
okay, so tell us again, a family of two, what is the eligibility income threshold for
Family
that? I
of
know
two
we
is
gotta.
$51,137. Family of three, $63,169, and we'll pay for whatever your source of heat may be. It could be wood, it could be pellets, whatever you heat with. We're able to. We have people that I can't get the words out. We have different vendors out there. So we have wood vendors. We have H.A. George. We have propane. Every vendor we're connected with just about in Berkshire County.
So you pay you determine based on someone's income and family size, the amount of fuel assistance they're entitled to. That's a dollar amount. It could be 100, it could be 900, whatever, based on the family size and income. And then you would pay that to the fuel provider. If they get oil, you would pay it to the oil provider that they use. Is that how it works?
Correct.
Okay.
It'll be paid right to your vendor.
Okay. And Alita, you had said two things earlier about the program that I want to just go back and talk about a little more. You talked about a discount, a utility discount. Tell us about that. If someone's eligible for the fuel assistance program, they're also eligible for a utility discount?
Correct. So if you have Berkshire Gas, you get a discounted rate with Berkshire Gas, and you'll get a discounted with your electric. However, the electric has to be in the person that lives in the house's name. So if you apply for fuel assistance, you live there, the electric's in your name, you're going to get on the discounted rate. So it's different for Eversource, the national grid, but it's anywhere from 28 to 32% on your usage.
Okay. And that's for how many months of that year that you're eligible for fuel assistance?
Once you get on the discounted rate, you're on for a full year as long as you apply the following year. You don't lose that.
Okay, so this is something that goes obviously beyond just the heating fuel season. So this is another important thing for people to be aware of. And you also had talked about furnace repair and replacement. Tell us about that if you could.
So as long as there's money available, and if you own the home and the furnace was to break or it won't start up, we have a person in our Pittsfield office that you would call, and then she would send somebody out to look at it, and then they would make the decisions there. So we have many programs. Once we get you eligible for fuel, there's weatherization, there's that audit. There's many programs that we're gonna, as soon as we're doing your fuel assistance application, we're asking you questions. We're looking at that.
Yeah. And the furnace repair and replacement, that can save someone thousands of dollars.
$5,000, even more.
Yeah.
I mean, we replaced my oil furnace. I mean, that was just, a lot of people don't have that kind of money in the bank. So a couple of years ago, we went to all the senior centers, and they were our toughest clients to get to apply for this program. But then we told them, like, even just to protect yourself if your furnace was to
Right.
break. You're eligible. You know, they felt that they were going to take it from someone
There you
else.
go.
You are not. It actually
Someone else
helps us
needs it
work
more than
hard.
I do, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But that's a great point. And again, it's like, even if somebody based on their income may not be eligible for a lot of dollars of fuel assistance that year, that's the doorway to these other programs that really could help them. So you're taking applications for that now. So there's no reason why people should not be applying for fuel assistance. One other thing, Alita, I had asked you about the stimulus for people who are on unemployment and got unemployment and they got that extra amount. Does that count towards their income, that $600 a week people were
It
getting?
does not count. We do not look at the $600 a week that you get on an unemployment. That was a short period of time. We look at
Yep.
what you're going to be getting on a weekly basis. We do not count that.
Great. Okay. Steph, I want to finish with you and, well, with both of you, but I want to finish and wrap up the ELF warm clothing program. What do we need to say that we haven't said yet, and how can we summarize it all?
I think just reminding folks that if you're interested in applying for the program, it's for children 0 to 12.
Yep.
And the application deadline is October 29th. And you can
Yep.
pick up an application outside of our North Adams or our Pittsfield office. If you have any questions, give us a call. If you're not sure if you're eligible for anything, give us a call. It's always best just to call us and check, because most of the times you are eligible.
Right.
And then for sponsors, even though we have all this gorgeous clothing behind us, we need more. So if you're able to sponsor a child, you can either buy clothing for a child, give us a monetary donation, and we'll do the shopping for you, mail something to our offices. We could definitely use the help this year. And again, you can call our North Adams or our Pittsfield office if you're interested in sponsoring, or there's information on our website, bcacinc.org.
We have a great shopper too, Bob. We have somebody that can buy a lot with very little money. We're kind of shocked, but
So any potential sponsor that's wanting to make sure they're going to get a good bang for their buck, they absolutely will, right? Because again, I mean, every dollar you will use and stretch that dollar as much as you can to make sure you're getting the best value for these kids in our Berkshire communities.
and we
Right.
need your
Absolutely.
help this year. We definitely need the community to help us
Yeah.
get through this.
And everything that you buy is going to a Berkshire child. So if you sponsor a child, all of the items that you buy are going to that child and making their holiday a lot brighter.
Yeah, and I think for sponsors and donors, it will make their holiday a lot brighter too. So thanks to both of you, Stephanie and Alita, and of course, President Johnson. And I hope that for those of you who have joined us today, I hope you've enjoyed this show, and I know this is good information for you or someone you know. Thanks so much. Stay well, and happy holidays. Bye now.
Bye, Bob.
Thank you.